So today I'm going to do a requested video on what I think some of my top recommendations are for summertime products that you wear on your face, and just some things that are either waterproof or water resistant. And I want to emphasize resistant rather than proof, because I don't think there's a whole lot of makeup out there that is actually waterproof. What I'm about to show you is stuff that I have either put to the test or seen elsewhere that have held up to humidity and traveling, or I've gone to Disney World in May on Memorial Day weekend and it held up to that, so that's pretty good in Florida. It's pretty humid. So yeah, I also go to the beach quite frequently, so I don't put a lot of makeup on at that point either, but yeah, so what I'm about to show you and put on is just kind of some ideas or tips that you might want to take on yourself to best look your best while facing the heat and the humidity, and maybe like sitting by the pool. But again, I wouldn't recommend any of this to like jump in the pool per se. If you have any summertime friendly products that you found work for you, leave them in the comments down below. We all know that summertime and makeup don't usually mix well, but we'll do our best. Alright. So I'm going to give you more of like a makeup look with water resistant or long wearing makeup, and then I'm going to talk about some products that are kind of, if you would rather wear this kind of option. I've already washed and moisturized my face. It's very important. You could go ahead and put an SPF on, but I find that a really high SPF really breaks me out and I don't like it, so I'm just going to stick with products that have some SPF in their makeup. And with anything with SPF on your face, you risk getting that white flashback, so none of this is going to be, in my opinion, photography friendly / optimal for anything with flash photography. Otherwise you'll get that white cast. So, going through, I'm going to start out by priming our face with this Maybelline Master Prime Face Studio, and this will help the product that we're going to go in with cling on to that. And then I'm going to take the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25 Hour, which is not 25 hour, with Comfort Serum, Broad Spectrum 20 SPF Classic Ivory Foundation. And this stuff is pretty thick and it smells, it does have a smell, but I think it smells amazing. And then with a Sigma F80 Kabuki brush, I'm going to do a quick coat of that. And another option for this is a tinted moisturizer, which is generally what I do if I'm actually going out to the beach or to like Disney World last year when I went for our anniversary. If you're more oily to combo, this is a better foundation. I only wear this when I know I'm going to be sweating or out and about, because it is kind of mattifying and it can make your face feel like frozen. But you could go with a tinted moisturizer. One that I would recommend would be the Physicians Formula BB Cream Argan Wear. I'm in the shade Light, but this has an SPF of 30, which is pretty decent for the face. And then a higher end option would be the Smashbox Camera Ready BB Cream in SPF 35, which has the highest SPF. I prefer this one probably out of everything. This is my favorite option. Now to conceal, which I would keep to a very minimum if possible, unless you just have like one spot that's just not leaving you alone, then it would be a good idea to go in and do that. But I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Master Conceal Camouflaging Concealer in light and light medium. Light I'll do for more of a highlight if that's what you want, and then light medium I'm going to use for today and cover up any kind of spots or weirdness we may have going on. And this is a thicker consistency, so just really pick and choose what you want to wake up and cover up. But don't use a highlight shade on a blemish or area you're trying to cover up, because you will just do the opposite and draw more attention to it. Next, we're going to set it with the Rimmel Stay Matte Long Lasting Pressed Powder. What kind of face brush you have? I might go in with my Forever Puff first. I'm supposed to kind of pack it on with like a puff and then take the brush and brush off the excess that you have on your face, and it leaves a very nice finish. Now I'm going to take the Real Techniques brush in contour brush and put some of that powder and pop some underneath the eyes to make sure we don't have any creasing or like messy situations there. Because wearing sunglasses on and off throughout the day can take off your makeup unless you set it nicely. This Rimmel Stay Matte is like very matte and mattifying, so with dry skin like me, I again only wear this kind of stuff when I know I'm going to be sweating it out or something where I know I'm going to be exposed to the elements. And that is that. So next, after taking Stay Matte by Rimmel in Sandstorm and the Classic Ivory, we're going to take the Rimmel Natural Bronzer in the shade Sunlight, which is a really nice bronzer. It's waterproof and it's really nice for just that like sun-kissed glow. And I'm going to take a Real Techniques powder brush or any kind of big fluffy brush you have. I don't want this to be too intense. I'm going to do more of a bronzing contour, bronzing. I think Candy Johnson calls it that. And just kind of give some more life and luminosity to the skin. And I'm going to do the temples, top of the ear to the cheek area, brush that out, and then the jawline and right underneath the lip. So as you can see, it's a little bit warm for a contour shade. With contouring, you want it to be like a shadow, and shadows are not brown, they are gray. So this was a perfect bronze shade to kind of give that glow and life back to the skin. It's also good to keep in handy if you do go out and tan and you missed a spot on your neck or something. If there's a shadow and it's white, this will help even you out. So as you can see, I'm not like sculpting out too much, but I'm keeping it in the general vicinity area. And I like this bronzer because it's not too like glittery, so it just kind of gives a really nice natural finish. And next we'll move on to the cheeks. Okay, so for the cheeks, I'm going to continue to talk about a couple of different options. You can either go in with the Becca Beach Tint in the shade Grapefruit, which is what I have here, or you can take the Cargo brand, it's water resistant blush in the shade Bali. It's this really pretty shade here. I'm going to use this for today. This one is just a cream, so you can put a little bit on your finger and kind of blend it out, and it gives a very nice natural blush look. And this one is a water resistant blush. I saw Michelle Phan using this while she was swimming like a mermaid in the pool, so I think if it lasts through that, it can last through a humid day of walking around Disney World, or whatever it is that you're doing out in the humidity or the heat. So I'm just going to put that on the apples of our cheeks and blend that into the bronzer a little bit. And it kind of has a really pretty sheen to it. But again, it's nothing over the top or too pink or dramatic. Just give a nice flushed glow. You don't really need that much because you're already going to get some natural red blush tint from being out in the sun. I just like to mix it in with our bronzer to kind of give some continuity to the look. And that is our blush look. I'm going to go ahead and do the lips, which is something I usually reserve for last, but when you're doing makeup quickly for, you know, waterproof, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to use the Revlon Color Stay Moisture Stain. It says it's a stain. It's not like a true stain. kind of like something like the Revlon Just Bitten Balm and Stain. This is more of like a true stain. This is a hydrating stain, so it just kind of lingers, but it feels really nice and it's really moisturizing, which you want to keep your lips moisturized and protected while you're out and about. And this is in the shade Cane's Crush. Just a nice corally pinky shade. It's not too pigmented or like intense. So that's that. Now I'm going to move on to the eyes, and I like to keep my eyes pretty minimal with this type of thing. I'm going to give you two different look options, either the Becca eye tint or beach tints, and they're water resistant colors for the eyes or the cheeks or the lips. This can go, I got a little beach tint set, there's a couple more, but there's, you know, some pretty cute colors. And here you can go in with that, or you can take the ColourPop colors, which are $5, so cheaper than the, what are they, Infallible shades, which is another option if you want. You can totally use one of the L'Oreal Infallible shades or the Maybelline Eye Studio Tattoo, like gel type of things. But ColourPop Cosmetics, because they're very long wearing. And they don't say water resistant, but I live in Florida and it's super humid and they haven't moved. So if you're out at like a theme park, Disney World, whatever, this would be a good option. So I'm going to take the shade, the Super Shock Shadow in Desert, and put some on my ring finger. I'm going to put this color all over the lid. And this one doesn't require brushes, which I think is nice, because the less you have to pack, the better. So that looks nice. And you can stop here, put on some waterproof mascara, and go on about your day. I'm going to do the full look. Just go in with the shade Lala, which is, you want to make sure these are closed tightly because they will dry up on you. This is more of a shimmerier shade, very beachy and summery. Keep that right to the ball of the lid. And just go in with small amounts and build up your coverage as you like. I'm going to take the shade Game Face, which is this really gorgeous coppery tone. Oh my gosh, I love it. And I'm going to use my pinky because it's much smaller, and keep this to the outer corner or crease of my eye for some dimension. Again, this is like doing your face, so if you're not comfortable with that and you just want to stick with the previous two colors, then you do you. And then lastly, I'm going to take the shade Get Lucky, which this is a true gold shade. I'm going to put this in the inner corner and some on the ball of our lid. And with eyeliner, you can go in with a waterproof eyeliner if that's your thing. On a normal day for like summer weather, I don't usually wear eyeliner, but I do have some recommendations if you are an eyeliner person that I've worn in the summertime and that have worked just fine for me. It's all personal preference. This one is not drugstore, but it's a drugstore price. I think it's the Sephora Jumbo 12-hour wear a waterproof eye crown in black. It's just a chunky kind of jumbo crown. I've worn this in several tutorials and I just waterline. Now I'm going to do the eyebrows, which you don't have to do, totally optional again. I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in Soft Brown with her number 20 brush and spoolie, because I think it is fairly water and humidity resistant. So just fill those in as you desire. I always start with the tail. And then make the saddest face of life. I have a pug, so I'm always like, pug face! And likes to make my face all smunched. Now I'm going to take the Maybelline Lash Sensational Waterproof Black Mascara and pop that on the lashes. Although I don't generally do eyeliner, I will do mascara. I just think mascara helps make the eyes look much more alive and awake. But you want to grab something waterproof in case you're sweating or crying. Or just walking outside in Florida because it's so humid. So that concludes my summer essential type of video with waterproof or water resistant makeup or long wearing that I have found has held up to the test of humidity, big social gatherings that are outside like Disney World or concerts or things like that where you're going to be sweating or in and out of AC and the outdoors. I again would not go for a swim in my makeup, period. But I do also have a lot of SPF on right now with the foundation and the BB and the primers and things like that we've used. I'll list down below some of the other things that I didn't actually put on my face in this look, but I recommend for the humidity or summertime type of events or weather that are waterproof or water resistant. And yeah, you can do what you'd like, play around with it, go get some of this stuff. Most of what I mentioned is drugstore prices, which I always hate putting on expensive makeup that I know I'm just going to sweat right off. I just feel like it's a complete waste. Unless I have to go somewhere like a formal event and it just happens to be outdoors. Again, none of this is really photography friendly in my opinion because I do photography as well, and it's just, with any kind of high SPF you get the flashback in photography. So be warned for that. But if you're not using your flash, then it should be just fine. But yeah, so let me know what you use on your summer days or days where you're sitting by the water or the pool or the lake or wherever you're at, and that way we can find new stuff to try and all help each other out in the comment section below. And yeah, I hope you liked, if you liked it, and subscribe so you don't miss any future tutorials or reviews or looks or giveaways or anything else I've got going on here on my channel. Thank you so much if you already have been supporting me and subscribed. I can't tell you how much that means to me, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye.